Hello once again to Dada's FoodCrave kitchen. Yes, my Dada's fan, I miss you all so much. As you can see, I just came home from work. I didn't even take my clothes off yet. I came out from work and I went to the grocery store just to get few ingredients to come home and make a recipe for you guys. Yes, so today I am going to be showing you my version how to make the white couscous benachin, my version couscous jollof. All right, this is my version. Other people might make it different, but I'm going to show you guys my version. This recipe will make you put the spoon down and use your hands. Yes, and I want you guys to stay tuned because I have a little bit of story time to tell you guys what happened to me today at the grocery store. This might help one or two people or maybe all of you. So stay tuned for that story time. All right, and if you're new here, I welcome you. If you're a returning subscriber, I also welcome you. If you're new, I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget that post notification bell so that you stay updated in any new video that I uploaded. So I didn't want this video to be too long. I already prepped all my ingredients, peeled my onions, I already prepped everything. But before we start, I will show you all of the ingredients that I am going to be using in this recipe. The reason why I prep everything, I just wanted to do that so that I won't keep this video too long, because usually I will peel everything, make you guys watch me peel everything. Everything is prepped, but I will make sure I show you guys everything before we start with this video. And stay tuned for that story time, because this might help one or two of you or maybe all of you. And without any further ado, I kind of have a brain freeze there. Without any further ado, let's get cooking. So guys, like I said, I already prepped all my ingredients. Here I have some 2 bunch of scallions. Then I have 2 medium-sized onion here. Then I have some leftover fresh tomato in my fridge. I didn't want it to go to waste, and I said, you know what, I'm going to use it into the recipe. Yes, if you don't have fresh tomato, that is also fine. It's optional. You really don't have to add any fresh tomato in it. I just didn't want it to go to waste. And then here also I have yellow bell pepper and red bell pepper that I used previously on a recipe that I didn't also want to go to waste. I'm just going to throw that in there. Then I have 2 habanero or scotch bonnet pepper. Adjust the spice to your liking. Then over here I have some garlic. I have some garlic here. So all these ingredients here, it's gonna go to the blender. I'm gonna blend everything. This is gonna be my knockers. Then I'm also going to be adding some parsley into the blended ingredients as well, with some seasoning like Jimbo cube or Maggi cube or Nor cube, whatever seasoning you have, with black pepper and all of that stuff. So all these ingredients here is going to be in the blender. Then over here I have eggplant. Then I have some carrots. Lots of vegetables, guys. I have some carrots. Then I have another additional 3 scotch bonnet pepper or habanero pepper. This I'm going to float to garnish. I'm going to press it in my food just in case it's not too spicy. This is a great way to add hot pepper into your food. If you're cooking for somebody who doesn't eat spicy food, you could just put the whole pepper in and then garnish it later on and squeeze it on the side when you're ready to eat. It's called tumbal. So I have my carrots here and I have my eggplant, and then I also have some cassava, which is yuca. Then I also have here some pumpkin. I did not peel the skin off the pumpkin. I am going to leave the skin on. Then if I'm going to eat it, then it's my choice not to eat the skin or just peel the skin. The reason why I left the skin on the pumpkin, because pumpkin tend to cook really, really fast. Then it's going to definitely break into your food. So that's a great tip to use if you're making any type of stew or benachin or whatever. To not peel the skin till like later on when you're eating it. You could just take a spoon and just scoop the top here and get rid of the skin. So you want to leave the skin on because it tends to break into the food. Like I said again, these are my ingredients. Here I have my eggplant, my cabbage, carrot, and my cassava, which is my yuca. All right, and the pumpkin, I left the skin there, and some habanero pepper. Then also I have a whole cabbage here, which I'm going to cut in 4. I might not use everything. I'm gonna just use half of it and then cut it into 4, all depending. I really love cabbage, especially when I'm making this type of dish. I love cabbage. All right, more vegetables in my diet. As you all know, you already checked my second YouTube channel, Hannah's Simple Life. I'm in a weight loss process. I'm in a process of like losing weight. I'm in that weight loss journey. So if you haven't checked that channel out, Hannah's Simple Life, check it out and see my progress in me trying to lose weight. Okay. Then over here I have my couscous. All right. It's like I would say 3.2 ounce net weight, 35.2 ounce. So anyway, it's a bag of couscous like so. I purchased this at my local grocery store. I will probably measure it and tell you guys exactly how many cups, but I think it's 4 or 5 cups in this. All right, this is my couscous. And then next I have here my beef cube. I might not use all of these meat, guys, to be honest. That's a lot of meat, but they're beef cubes and they're small, and you know, after they cook, you know, they tend to like shrink down a little bit. So we'll see. So I'm simply gonna make this very simple, very simple. So if you have this type of seasoning, which is called adobo, you could just use this, because this has garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper. It has everything in it. That's why it's called all-purpose seasoning. But if you don't have this type of seasoning, just simply use salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper, and what else, or your Knorr seasoning or Himalayan salt, whatever you have. Okay, you can use whatever seasoning you want to use for your meat. You don't have to necessarily use exactly what I'm using. So like I said again, I'm only gonna make this simple. I'm going to use my adobo seasoning with black pepper. All right, that's all I'm going to use, because it already has black how you call it, it already has onion powder, garlic powder, and all that stuff. Okay, if it doesn't taste good to your liking, you can go ahead and add some salt, but I'm making this as simple as possible. And besides, I just came home from work, guys, you know, so I don't want to be in the kitchen too late, because I have to go to work tomorrow. So that's all I'm using. Simple as that, because the couscous will definitely make this dish really, really good. All that blended ingredients that I'm going to add into the recipe will definitely add flavor to it. All right. So those are all like vegetable seasoning. All my couscous, all my blended ingredients, the onion powder, the garlic powder, the how you call it, bell pepper, they all seasoning. So all that is going to add more flavor into the recipe. So just because I add simple seasoning in here doesn't mean the dish will not come out good. All right, it all depends. Whatever choice you choose to season your meat, that's what you're going to use. The main thing is the couscous, the blended ingredients. That's what's going to make the dish taste good. I'm going to go ahead and add all my blended ingredients. I'm not using my bigger blender today, so hopefully all these ingredients will fit into this little blender. I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic. And add my leftover bell pepper. That's optional as well. These are just leftovers that I have that I don't want to have them go to waste. Okay. And then I'm going to add my fresh tomato. Like I said, that's also optional if you don't have fresh tomato. I probably will blend a little at a time because this blender is not that big. And I add my habanero pepper or scotch bonnet pepper. Adjust the spice to your liking. Okay. And then I add my scallions. Like I said, the main thing is the couscous, which is the blended ingredients. I'm gonna blend a little bit at a time and then add the rest because this is really, really small. And I'll add my onion. And the rest of my scallions. Whoops. And I'll go ahead and add some parsley into the blended ingredients because parsley goes really, really well with couscous. Okay, just 1 handful of parsley. And then I'll add some of my pink Himalayan salt. Okay. And then I will add, some black pepper. Guys, my kitchen smells good already. Just these blended ingredients, my couscous, smells good already. Oops. Telling you guys, this couscous smells so good. So good. Yes. And that's it. There we go. Our couscous. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add my oil. Now, if you see me add a lot of oil, trust me, I'm going to scoop some of the oil out. This is just a process for me to be able to fry my onions and my meat, okay? So you're gonna wait till the oil is extremely hot. Then I'm going to add my meat and then just brown it like 1 minute and then add my my couscous. This is gonna be quick and simple, guys. Trust me, it's a must try. So guys, my oil is extremely hot at this moment. The reason why I said extremely hot, because we're going to brown the beef like just barely like 1 minute and then add our couscous. We're not gonna brown the beef until it's really golden brown or dark brown. We're not doing all of that. You know, times have changed. You know, we don't got time to be brown, waiting for the meat to be brown before we can add anything. No, we're just gonna brown it a little bit and then add our couscous, and then we go from there. Just keep on watching, okay? Because if I want to wait until the meat is brown, then it's going to ooze out water and all that stuff. I'm just going to add my couscous, let it brown for one or 2 minutes, add my couscous, and then everything will cook at the same time. Okay? Yeah, I'm not going to brown the beef until it's like really brown. And like I said, it looks like a lot of meat, but once it cooks, they're going to shrink down. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my couscous. And I'm going to save a little bit for later. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add some bay leaf just to give it some aroma. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some jumbo cube, and I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit. Oops, and then I'm gonna come back and add my vegetables. Like I said, this is my version of cooking the white couscous benechin with no tomato. I already have the red one that I made in my channel. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the pot and let this cook for a little bit. So I always mention this on my video. The first person to tell me where they're watching me from, the first 5 people that tell me where they're watching me from, I will give you a shout out on my next video. So if you want me to give you a shout out on my next video, let me know where you're watching me from, the first 5, and I'll give you a shout out on my next video. So the first 5 people that are going to get this shout out today for this video are let me see here. So the first person that's going to get a shout out is Mam Jallo. Mam Jallo is watching me from the Gambia. Mam Jallo, thank you so much. And the next person that is going to get a shout out for this video is Fatumata Ba Saho. Fatumata Ba Saho is watching me from the Gambia as well. And the next person that's going to get a shout out is Sylvia Jones, who is watching me from London. Yes. And then the next person is Mr. Jallo. I believe it's Mr. Jallo, J-A-H-L-O. Jallo Fode or Jallo Jafode is watching me from I don't know what you wrote, J-A-H-A-W-U-R, watching from Jahawa. I'm not sure what you wrote, but it's spelled J-A-H-A-W-U-R, Jahawa. But anyway, Mr. Jallo, thank you so very much. And the next person I'm going to give a shout out is Ibrahim. Ibrahim is watching me from the UK. Haja Karoma. He says Ibrahim. He says, look delicious, Haja Karoma from UK. So, like I said, if you want me to give you a shout out, I give you a shout out on my video. And there's a lady called Auntie Margaret that watched me. Auntie Margaret, you didn't tell me where you're watching me from, but these are the people I'm giving a shout out, and I thank you so much for watching my video. If you want me to give you a shout out on my next video, let me know where you're watching me from. The first 5, I'll give you a shout out on my next video, and I thank you all so much for the constant support. Let's check our recipe, guys. So let's check. As you can see, it is cooking really nicely. I'm going to give it another 2 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some water so that I can cook my vegetables. So the meat and the vegetables will cook at the same time. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and cut my carrots because I just peeled them, but I did not cut them, okay? I don't want to cook a lot of the carrot, but I love carrot, guys. It's very good for your skin. Okay, so I have all these ingredients here, all my vegetables. As you can see, this is all going into the couscous benachin. All right. So as you can see, I left this cabbage for last. This is the story time. This is the reason behind my story time that I wanted to tell you guys. So I went to the grocery store, like I said, to go buy some few ingredients to make my recipe. So obviously I bought the cabbage. All right. So when it's time for me to go to the registry, I went to the registry to check out, and as the lady was scanning my items, I'm looking, because obviously, you know, I'm looking for how much everything cost. So as she was scanning, she scanned the cabbage, and guess what? The cabbage came up to $27, guys. $27. I was like, is this cabbage $27? Are you sure? So luckily the manager was there. So the manager looked, said, you know, like I said, I didn't blame the girl. But like I said, the reason why I said what happened to me at the grocery store today, it might help 1 or 2 people, or maybe all of you. When you go buy anything for that matter, whether it's grocery, whatever, and you know the item doesn't cost that much money, always question it. Because mind you, if I didn't put my eye on the list of things I was buying and the price, I would have paid $27 for this cabbage. So as I'm looking, you know, the amount keep going up, and all of a sudden, as soon as she scanned the cabbage, the amount just went whoop, high sky. And I look, I was like, how come it went from $13 to a huge amount, almost $40? So I said to her, is this cabbage this cabbage is definitely not $27. So this is like, you know, I know it seems kind of like a lame story time, but if you, like I said, I wanted to share this. If you don't pay attention to the registry or whatever you go and buy at the grocery store or whatever it is that you're buying, and you don't pay attention, you might pay more than what you buy from that store. And I'm sure it happened to me before. I just didn't pay close attention, and I'm sure it probably happened to you guys also before. You just didn't pay attention. So that's why I wanted to bring this up and share this with you guys. Maybe it might help 1 or 2 people, or all of you. Always pay attention to the price tag of what you're paying for, because there's no way I would have paid $27 for this cabbage. All right, so pretty much that's what happened to me at the grocery store, and I said this will be a good time for me to share this. Always pay attention to what you are paying for, so that you don't end up paying something that it's not worth the price. All right, if I didn't look, I would have paid for this cabbage $27. I'm telling you guys, $27 for this cabbage. There is no way. $27. lolu du fi am. You know. So like I said, I'm not gonna add all this cabbage in there because that's a lot of cabbage. Although I like cabbage, I'm gonna use the rest for like a you know, like a stir fry or something, or maybe use like 3 cuts of the cabbage and then just save the rest. And if you come across these, you can just actually just throw it into, because they're gonna peel off, you can actually just throw it into the benachin or whatever, or stew, because it's still good. I already peeled the top layer already. And another tip, when you try to cook a cabbage, always try to cut it at this hard part. Make sure it's in this is what's gonna keep the cabbage intact when it's cooked, so that it don't break apart. Always make sure you cut in the middle on this hard part. I don't know what it's called, maybe it's the stem or what, I'm not sure. So I am going to be using like 3 of these, or maybe 2. All right, so that was my story time, guys. That was my story time. I hope it's not a lame story time, but like I said, it will help 1 or 2 of you. Always pay attention with what you are paying. There's no way I would have paid $27 for a bulk of cabbage. If I didn't pay attention, I would have paid $27 for the cabbage. So I just wanted to share it out there, my experience, what happened to me at the grocery store. All right, let's check our food. So it is cooking nicely. Now I'm going to add some water, then add my vegetables. See, I didn't need to brown the meat at all. It wasn't necessary for me to brown the meat. Just brown it in the hot oil for like 1 or 2 minutes, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some water. Not a lot of water at all. Mind you, I'm cooking couscous. I'm not cooking rice, because couscous doesn't require a lot of water. All right, so I'm gonna add my cabbage and my eggplant. I'm gonna see how much is gonna fit in here, because all these vegetables I like. I'm going to cook them until they're done. Then I'm going to take them out. So it looks like I'm only going to cook 1 cabbage, because it will not fit into this pot. It's going to be too much. Yeah, it's going to be too much. If I try to put this in there, it's going to be too much. Unfortunately, as much as I love cabbage, it's going to be too much. I love eggplant as well. So meanwhile, the meat also is going to be cooking while the vegetables are cooking. You're going to cover the pot, let your vegetable cook. So meanwhile, while my vegetables are cooking, I'm going to find a slot to put that remaining couscous in there. I'm going to put the remaining couscous in there so that it will also cook. Because mind you, we are cooking couscous, not rice. So I'm going to add this remaining couscous in there. Whilst the meat, the vegetables, everything's cooking, you know, you want to make sure you save some of the couscous and put it at the end, towards the end. Okay, and put it towards the end so that will cook also whilst the vegetables are cooking. And I don't like cooking my vegetables to be too soft. I like it half and half, al dente, because then I want to make sure I have all that nutrients in there. So I'm going to cover the pot and let my vegetables cook. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and take my vegetables out because they are cooked. So I took all my vegetables out. I'm going to let the meat cook a little bit. Then I'll go ahead and add my couscous. I'm going to let the meat cook a little bit. Okay? It's soft, but I want it to be a little softer. And guys, this is the time to make sure you taste for seasoning. Because once that couscous go inside, you cannot add any more seasoning. You want to make sure you taste for seasoning, taste for your salt, make sure everything is good before you add the couscous. Okay? Because once you add it, that's it. See, this is some of the oil, which is actually not too much, but I'm just going to let it cook for a little bit. Then I'll come back and continue on with the recipe. Okay guys, now drum roll, it's time to add our couscous. I'm going to try to see if I can scoop some of this oil out, like I said earlier. If I feel like the couscous need more oil, I will go ahead and add it again. Okay, time to add our couscous. And now guys, I'm going to turn the stove off. Okay? The stove is currently off. I'm going to add a little bit more couscous. The stove is not on, just in case you're wondering. Couscous doesn't take long to cook at all. All it requires is the heat. Now, like I said, the stove is off. I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes, then come back and check on it. All right, guys, it's been 10 minutes. Let's check our couscous. Yes, our couscous is ready. Our white couscous benachin is ready, guys. And remember, I told you guys to turn the stove off. Okay, I decided to leave the meat in there. It's optional. You can take the meat off. You can take the meat out first before adding the couscous. But I decided to leave it there. Okay? And it's so fluffy and so delicious. And you want to make sure you add all your seasoning before adding the couscous. Like I said, if you don't do that, once you add the couscous, you won't be able to add any seasoning. Yep. Okay, time to dish out and decorate for you guys. And guys, our white couscous benachin, my version, it is ready. I hope you guys will try this recipe. If you're new again, I welcome you. If you're a returning subscriber, I welcome you. If you're new, I hope you will consider subscribing to this channel. And don't forget to hit that post notification bell so that you stay updated in any new video that I uploaded. Try this recipe. Leave your comment down below if you want me to give you a shout out on my next video. The first 5 to comment on my video and let me know where you're watching me from will get a shout out on my next video. Until I come your way next time, I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Ta-ta! Bye-bye!